Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 13 days away from its official release by Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and even creator George Lucas. That is all sitting ready to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future content. So, one thing about Episode 9 is that a lot of fans are very worried or very concerned about exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to utilize everything on the big screen and how it's really going to connect to the prequels and the originals, and we also know that there are going to be elements of The Rise of Skywalker that will retcon aspects of the sequel trilogy, even like The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, and even the originals and the prequels, which I will admit is something that I think is quite worrisome for a lot of Star Wars fans around the world. Now, with that being said, one thing is for certain is that throughout the many changes during the months of August, September, and October, is that, of course, Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy wanted to create a different tone for the film and to adjust the core pieces of the plot of Episode 9. Now, with that being said, things aren't looking too bright with The Rise of Skywalker based on some of the leaks that we've been talking about and some of the changes by Disney and Lucasfilm. And what's really intriguing about this is, of course, it's explained that both Disney and Lucasfilm went through many changes and adjustments through the months of August, September, and October, where it's explained that Disney and Kathleen Kennedy wanted to restructure the plot of the film's ending. It said that during these adjustments, both Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams made bold decisions for the film's ending, and that these decisions made by Disney and Lucasfilm are said to be quite controversial to the fans that will either divide the fan base or even worse. It's explained that one decision made by Kathleen Kennedy was to make Rey the Chosen One and to have her destroy the Sith once and for all. It's explained that this decision by Disney and Lucasfilm echoes the decision made for Game of Thrones to make Bran Stark the king at the very end. Additionally, it's said that the ending of the film will involve Rey going on a tirade at some point that is said to lead to the defeat of Kylo Ren once again, where she falls to the darkness temporarily. Now, the ending of the film is explained to be as controversial as Game of Thrones Season 8 and how it was perceived by its fans, and that other decisions made by Disney and Lucasfilm also include that there will be many plot holes in the film and poor explanations in the movie, that not everything from The Force Awakens will be answered, and that there will be ambiguous moments in the entire sequel trilogy that will go unanswered. Additionally, it said that these decisions were made in early August to bring a massive shift to the franchise, to change the tone of the movie and its core characters. It said that the ending of the film will betray George's vision on how the saga should have ended, and that his original ending was deleted from the film and replaced with Kathleen Kennedy and JJ's version. Now, the film is said to include 4 lightsaber duels between both Kylo and Rey, where it's explained that Kylo Ren loses in every single duel against Rey, and not once does Kylo Ren win a lightsaber duel in Episode 9, or now the entirety of the sequel trilogy. With the film now just 13 days away, fans are very skeptical about how the film will perform at the box office, or how it will resonate with its hardcore fan base, and even the casual fans. Coming out of The Last Jedi and the backlash it received, The Rise of Skywalker is an important film as it does determine the future of the franchise and where things will go by Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, additionally, it's said that the beginning of the film will also create a controversy as Palpatine's explanation of his survival will not be fully answered to the audience, leaving fans in the dark as to how exactly Palpatine survived from the very end of Return of the Jedi, and will only be addressed in the upcoming novelization in 2020. Now, this decision by Disney and Lucasfilm making The Rise of Skywalker as controversial as a film echoes the controversy of Game of Thrones Season 8 and how fans reacted to the last and final season of the hit HBO TV series that ended not too long ago. The film is set for a premiere on the 11th and the 16th, both in Japan and Los Angeles, and that in no time there will be reactions of the film by critics, both truthful and honest reactions, where some of which will not be as honest from certain critics. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, and as to why this is honestly giving a lot of fans some nightmares. I don't know if you guys watched Game of Thrones from start to finish, seasons 1 to 8, but there's no doubt about it that season 8 was a colossal failure. It was just a mess. It really just was not good. It was a big mess for everybody. Now, some people out there may like Season 8, which is fine, but a majority of fans out there had a big issue with Game of Thrones Season 8, which is the reason as to why I believe David Benioff and D.B. Weiss decided to step down. voluntarily away from Star Wars, from the new Star Wars trilogy in the 2020s, and now Kathleen Kennedy has to find other people, other directors and writers to fulfill those areas. So, with that being said, the fact that this movie is going to have a lot of controversial moments based on specific decisions made by Disney and Lucasfilm, and how those decisions and how those controversial moments are going to echo the controversy of Game of Thrones Season 8, I think is really worrisome. I really do believe so. I think that this also has something to do, with the fact that Disney and Lucasfilm wanted to make bold decisions in The Rise of Skywalker, and to me that was the one problem with The Last Jedi, is that there were too many bold decisions in The Last Jedi, and the fact that they are including bold decisions once more through all these different changes that they made in, of course, August, September, and October, it just brings me back, to, of course, The Last Jedi, and how it does echo the Game of Thrones Season 8 scenario, the entire situation. A lot of fans I know, that were fans of Game of Thrones when the leaks actually came out, a lot of fans were just trying to not believe that they were real, but they actually ended up being real, and it was just a big controversy. A lot of fans despised it. They even wanted HBO to completely reshoot Season 8 and completely remake it. That's how bad it was. So, obviously, I'm still a Star Wars fan at heart. I mean, I really am. I love the originals, I love the prequels, and I'm still hoping that this movie will at least be more of a decent film than that of The Last Jedi. So with that being said, 13 days away, we are just 1 week and 6 days away from the release of this movie. Crazy, right? I mean, when you think about that, the fact that we are that close, and we're going to be getting the premieres soon, we're going to be hearing about the reactions of this movie. I want to actually tap into the reactions a bit. I just want to warn you guys on this, is that the reactions for The Last Jedi, a lot of them were really not all that honest. A lot of them were actually praising the film beyond belief, to the point where it was a little unrealistic. If you guys like The Last Jedi, that's fine, but the reactions of that film were claiming it to be better than The Empire Strikes Back, and all these crazy bold statements. So just be aware that some of the reactions for The Rise of Skywalker most likely won't be all that honest, and may just be reactionary, based on, what the critics know or don't know too much about Star Wars. Again, there's a lot of critics out there that go ahead and see these movies beforehand, and a lot of them haven't really seen all the Star Wars movies, so, that may very well tie directly into why a lot of reactions weren't all that honest, or really weren't all that very much understood, since a lot of critics out there didn't really understand Star Wars to its best. So, with that being said, there were some honest ones with The Last Jedi, so keep an eye out for the ones that do sound a little bit more, like they're giving out their honest feelings about it, and stuff around those lines. So, moving past all of this though, the fact that The Rise of Skywalker, certain aspects of it will have a controversy that echo the controversy of Game of Thrones Season 8, it really is worrisome to me. It really is. When we look at Star Wars, right, it really is hard to believe that we have gone from Star Wars being this mega franchise that really had little to no, arguments around it, where now there's a divided fan base. There's a lot of fans either, being very much apathetic towards this film or towards the franchise in general, or are holding out hope that this movie will be the best as it can be. I think it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what it's going to look like on the big screen, visually speaking, how everything will be executed, and just to see exactly, what the casual fans, what new fans will think about it, and, most of all, what the hardcore fans are going to think about this. Again, the hardcore fans really are the most important fans out there, because the hardcore fans are the ones that see these movies 4, 5, 6 times. I remember I saw The Force Awakens, what was it, like 3, 4 maybe? No, I think it was like 4 to 5 times, yeah, if I can remember correctly. I know it may sound a little crazy there, but yeah, it was like 4 to 5 times that I saw that movie because of what it was building towards. Yes, it played it safe. Yes, it echoed A New Hope, but it allowed us to imagine what The Last Jedi was going to be like. So, with that being said, guys, I would like to hear what each and every one of you have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.